this thing is going. I'm gonna chop this branch down too. All right, so here's the hive. And the afternoon sun is really bad, so it's actually really hard to keep looking this direction because I keep looking into the sun. But obviously I have nothing on at the moment. I will put a hood on when I do this. I have been standing here way too long trying to find the queen, and if I actually found the queen, I would try and get her and put her down in this box. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frames in here. I've opened it up and the bees are already going into it, so they're kind of cool with it. Eventually I just am going to give up, and what I'm going to do, I think, is try and cut these branches one by one and hope that they don't all fall. So every time, you know, the weight leaves here, they shake, and what I don't want to do, like, I want them to drop straight down, and they'll probably drop back here a little bit, so I might move these boxes yet. That's one way. I could just shake them, hope the queen lands in there, and see what happens. And honestly, as I'm talking, that might be what I do, but if I could find the queen, I'd put her in there, and that would help me a whole lot more. And so the cool thing is, there's this whole thing of bees, right? And I can kind of put my hand against them and they don't care. But the queen doesn't like to be trapped. And so she'll kind of just keep coming out on top and out on top. And usually if you wait long enough, you'll just kind of see her. But I don't want to wait too long because mostly I'm just impatient, I think. And it gets really old just staring at a large clump of bees. So she's usually in this area and, you know, in like the main clump. She's not going to be up these little branches up here, I don't think. So I know I talk a lot. I'm just chit-chatting to keep myself company. My one daughter's coming over to have dinner, watch a movie, so I also don't want this to take too long. So yeah, I just have not seen her, but she's in here. I'm going to move this just briefly and see if I... Now, one thought is I have this little box here. They might go up into that box. They might go down into that box just because, but yeah, I'm just not seeing her. I think what I'm going to do is cut this branch that's right in front of me just to give myself a little bit more room to work with. It's so funny because, I mean, sometimes you'll just watch and all of a sudden she comes crawling out and it's so evident it's the queen. You're like, oh my goodness, that one looks much different than all the others. It's a Where's Waldo with, you know, 10,000 or 15,000 bees. I don't know how many bees are in here. This is, so if I were to get a package of bees, what's called package 3 pounds, they say there's about 10,000 bees in that package. This is bigger than that package. So my guess is there's 15-ish thousand bees in here, in this clump. And I'm just watching and watching. Maybe I'll grab the camera since they've definitely calmed down since they swarm. Let me just show you what is going on here. I mean, they're just as kind of as calm as could be. And I'll come put this back on. So this is the swarm as it stands now. So they're just hanging out. And again, as I said, like, I can kind of brush up against them, trying to find the queen, and they're not going to sting me. Generally won't sting me. I won't say they won't sting me at all, but so that's the goal. And then here's the box. So the goal is to try and get them from here. It's maybe not quite it's about a 3-foot drop at this point. I've built it up a little bit. So I'm just gonna let this keep going. I'm gonna set it back in the camera holder. We're up there a little bit. And let's see if we can catch the swarm. I'll just position this down a little bit so we can see the top of that box. But yeah, sometimes, because this smells like wax and other bees, so sometimes what's happening is these bees are coming off the hive, the swarm, and they're trying to find the new location for this new hive. And sometimes they'll be like, well, hey, there's all this free wax down here and it smells like bees, so maybe we'll just go down there. Okay, so what's gonna happen is I'm gonna attempt to cut this to give myself a little bit of space. And then I think the longer I'm looking at this, there's just too many branches intertwined. I wish I could get it higher, but I don't feel like stacking it anymore. I say that, but I might go grab one more box to try and get it just, if I can get it just a little bit higher, I think I'll have a better chance. So I think that's what I'll do. I'm just gonna let this run and you can watch the beehive. I don't have to go very far. And I am gonna get my queen trap just in case I come back out and I see her in these last minutes. All right, I'm gonna be right back. I wonder if you can hear me. My little pulling the frame here. I'm gonna get a tall box so that way it is as far up as I can get it. All right. I just wonder what people think as they drive back and forth here. So I'm going to take this down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and guesstimate when I give this a shake, they're going to drop back here, and so I'm going to pull this back a little bit. This is not an exact science, but I think by myself I can't really cut this branch effectively, and I really just get, so here's what's going to happen. That's right, I want this on top to give them a solid surface to land on. So what's going to happen is this is either going to work or it's not. Now this is very wobbly, and I'm trying to line this up so that when I give this a shake, the hope is they drop down into here. And the closer I'm getting this up, the more they're exploring it, so that's interesting. And I didn't grab my queen trap. That was stupid. So what I'm going to attempt to do, man, I wish that sun was not where it is. And I'll be really honest, normally when I start a swarm this long, I've seen the queen at least once, and I have yet to see her, which is just annoying more than anything else. But again, the queen needs the other bees, but she also doesn't ever like to be trapped. That's kind of like my sense. I mean, I don't know, I'm not a queen bee, but I'm trying to just locate her. Sometimes you find a bunch of bees moving. She might be around there, but I just don't see her. So here's what's going to happen. I'm going to shake this. They're going to fall down, hopefully into this basket. And then if the queen goes in, if I shake it hard enough and quickly enough and they go in, hopefully they can stay. If I don't, and the queen is still up here, they're just going to all come right back up to here, and within 5 minutes we're going to have a lot of a clump up here again. So I'll know pretty quickly. That is why it's just so much better to be able to see the queen and grab her, which is why I'm delaying and talking, hoping against all hope that she will show herself, but I just don't see that happening. And so I think my daughter just pulled in, so I don't want this to take all night, and we're just going to give it a go. That's the best we can do. So I'll put my hood on just because it's going to get, there's a lot of bees are going to go very quickly. And I just have nothing else to add here. Okay. This is the imprecise way. That's all I can say. I'm making some trajectory guesses on where this is going to land. Sorry if this creates some noise as I put this on with the microphone. So this is just enough to keep them out of my face and hopefully out of my shirt in the back. And then that darn sun. All right, so as I pull this down, they're always starting to drop. So here we go. We're just gonna give it a whack and see what happens. Ready? There we go. Now, if I'm lucky enough, and the queen is in there, oh, they are all over me, and they are pretty upset right now. Trying to see if they're going into the box, and initially it looks like they are. Man, they are crawling over my... What I don't want to see happen is them go down. So a bunch are on the ground, which was expected, but a bunch are coming up here and they are going in. So we're going to give them some time. They're all over me. But again, this is like the one time where they're frustrated and they are ending up back on that branch. But I see them, like, it looks like they're coming this way. So they will find their queen very quickly if she's in there. And what will happen is they're actually on the ground, and I'm going to try not to step on them. But at times you actually see them crawl up. Like, there's not a whole lot, there's some down here, and they'll start to crawl up the side of this into. So there is a clump up there, and some of that happens because her pheromone is still there, and they will go up there. But if it's stronger here, you can see them over here. They're crawling up the side, and they are going into this box. And so that gives me some hope that I got the queen. I might crawl up here again and just see if I see the queen up here at all. You know, what I don't want to see is the entire clump go back up here. But I'm seeing a fair amount of evidence that they're going in. There's a couple drones. It's really hard to tell, not gonna lie. There's a decent sized clump up there, but not enormous. And so I could try to give them one more shake, see if I can get more of them off, which I think I might do. So I get them as low as I can, and then give a shake down. Man, they are full, but again, they are mostly crawling up and staying in, I think. So I'll give this like 2 minutes, and then what I'll do is I'll lay the lid on top. Yeah, they are going in. Oh man, over here, they're crawling up the front and going straight in. You can't see it over here, but they're just, well, let me show you. That's why I have a video. They are just on me. All right, this is exciting. I'm gonna take this hood. There's a little thing on my head. All right, so see what's happening here? Like they are, man, I'm sorry about the sun. It's very frustrating. So they are crawling up the side, and they're fanning down into the box. And so I think that I have caught the queen. Now there's no guarantee they're going to stay here, but what we're going to attempt to do, yeah, there's much fewer of them going back up. So I think we've caught the queen. That's always exciting. They're sticking around here. They like the box so far. Again, as I said, there's some on the ground, not many at this point. But see on the side how they'll find their way up. And right there, they're crawling. Man, that sun just keeps hitting this camera, sorry. So that's exciting. So what we're going to do is put this lid on in a minute. And then there's a little hole in the front. And I'm going to take the plug out of that little hole. Yeah, I'm just watching them, they're doing the same thing. So what I'll do, yeah, I think I've caught her. They are sticking around here. They seem to be pretty happy about that. I have not seen her. Sometimes I can see her. Don't use smoke for this because I don't want to interrupt like her pheromone or anything like that. All the ones that were on the ground are gone, so they have also come up. I'm just going to quickly stand here to block the sun and see if I randomly see her. She comes crawling around. And so what we'll do here in a second is I'm going to put the lid on this. This is called a nuke box. It's what I get my bees in, or have in the past. In a recent video I showed you the plastic kind that I've gotten. Yeah, there's very few on that branch. They are not going back to that branch now. So she is in here. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to take this plug out from the front so that they have an entry and an exit. There's a bunch clumped on the front. That's why I keep coming up here. I want to make sure that she's not on the front here somewhere. And I don't think I see her. It's very weird to have these bees just land on my... All right, so I'm taking that plug out. So they have a little bit of an entrance and exit. And I do not see her. So that will be their only way in and out now. And they're all going right into that hole. So she's in there. That's exciting. And so I'm going to slowly put this lid on. And this nuke box might be too small for them. So I will tomorrow, or as long as it stays nice, I will pretty quickly try and... So this is where it gets hard. Like, I don't want to smush many bees. I certainly don't want to smush her if she's in here. And so trying to be gentle. Some earwigs here. And I'm going to put this down. So now the only way they really have in, they can smell her, but the only way they really have in is through that hole in the front. And they are going in and out of that hole. So I'll grab the camera and bring it around here and show you. It's an amazing thing how this all works, when it works. Now, there's no guarantee she's going to stay. So I could have gone through all this and she won't stay. So here's the front. I have this little hole down here, and you can see they're just going in and out of that hole. And there's really no bees left up there. It was that Y, so I definitely got the queen in here. They can't get in, they're kind of frustrated. And so they're gonna go in and out through this hole. And so what I'll do tomorrow or Thursday is set up a new hive and transfer them into that new hive. And probably point it the other direction for a few days so that they don't go back to their old hive, and go from there. So quite a fun day. Exciting. That's how you grow your hive. Now, obviously this box had some earwigs in it, so they're kind of coming and going. But. All right, we'll see how this thing looks a little bit later. There's a screen on the bottom right in here. There's a screen just for ventilation. And so they keep going underneath like, hey, why can't we get to her? We know she's in there. But that's great. All right, yeah, there they are. They're all coming. That's how you catch a swarm. One way to catch a swarm. Man, they are trying to get in up here. They're like, we know she's in there. There's a gap. We can smell her. Why isn't she coming out? All right, I'll shut up. And there we are. Caught it.